Hey you, we're talking sex, we're talking hormones, and we're talking why you're not crazy. I sit down with Dr. Troutman, who is a quadruple board certified hormone specialist, and she is sharing all. You ever wonder why you just no longer feel like you want to have sex ever? She's going to break it down. And after watching this episode, you just may have the answer to start feeling like yourself again. Today's roast: stop feeling ashamed about the way that you're feeling. Your insides, your hormones are going crazy. Did you ever think that you may need hormone therapy? I mean, I know that we don't talk about it a lot, and it's something that we should talk about. It's one of those things when you go through menopause, it's one of those things that you say, you know what? You'll get through it. Your mom probably said it, your grandma probably said it, or your aunt said it. Oh, honey, you'll get through it. Those hot flashes, oh, that's just part of being a woman. Guess what? You are a woman, and it does not have to be that way. You are here on earth to live your best life. So how about getting that hormone therapy that you always thought that you should have but didn't know what to call it? I gave you the answer. Now go get it. Well, Dr. Troutman, I got to tell you, I've been very excited about us actually getting together because of what I know to be something that's the topic we're going to have today. It needs to be had.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you've been having a lot of conversations with women just individually, also probably at workshops and all the things. And that is menopause.
Yes, menopause and perimenopause.
Yes,
which
perimenopause.
is frequently like confused or kind of merged together, I think. Right?
Yeah. So let's get into it. So let's define perimenopause and then menopause, and then we're just going to have a chat about both of them.
Love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's the best way to start is to start with facts, right? So did you know that menopause is actually one day?
Huh?
Yep, menopause. Okay. So that's the fact, right?
Start off. We can start off hot. How about it?
So menopause is literally one day, which is literally the day that is 12 months after a woman's last menstrual period.
Really?
So the life after menopause technically is a postmenopausal period, and the life before that one day is technically perimenopause.
Okay. So do we know what that one day is?
So unfortunately, it's a very rear view mirror diagnosis, right? Like today, let's say I would not know from today when I'll be in menopause. So it's very, again, rear view. Like you'll only know when you are 12 months after your last period. So I actually have patients that say 11 months and 22 days. Like they're not in menopause yet because technically, they're still in that perimenopause phase. So let's start with that. That's the one thing. Now, of course, that definition will only be applicable to women that are actually menstruating, right? So there are women that have had a hysterectomy, had something called an endometrial ablation, where they really don't have, or as someone who has an IUD, which means they don't have regular cycles or they don't have cycles. So for them, it's a lot harder for them to know whether they're in quote-unquote menopause. Yeah. Whereas perimenopause, again, it is the number of years before menopause, aka the transition years from reproductive years to menopause. So again, this is definitions looking at women really from a reproductive standpoint, which is something I'm like, which is how we've traditionally defined it. But I think now the one of the things we talk about, one of the things I'm very passionate about talking is having women understand the symptoms that happen both in perimenopause and menopause, because they are not necessarily just about our period.
So at what age can someone start like perimenopause?
Love that question.
Yeah.
So let's talk about averages. So in the US, the average age of perimenopause is 51.5 years old. The average age of perimenopause is 47.
Oh.
Okay. However,
average age. So that means that you could be in your 20s and start perimenopause?
Well, definitely can happen in your 20s, but the earliest start of normal perimenopause is 35. So 35 and over, if you're having some of the symptoms, we attribute to the symptoms like brain fog, anxiety, irritability, mood swings, and of course, irregular periods, you could be in perimenopause.
Okay, Dr. Troutman. Okay. I had to take 2 seconds to interrupt this episode. I would like to thank one of our most recent guests, Attorney Jenny Chavis, for sponsoring this show. Chavis Law Firm is an elite law firm in Central Pennsylvania that helps with estate planning as well as understanding what type of business entity you should enter into when starting your business. If you're looking for a great attorney that understands estate planning as well as business entity, how to start the right way, you want to check out Attorney Chavis, Chavis Law Firm. Now, back to the show. Anxiety, brain fog, irritability.
Yeah.
If you're in your 30s,
35 and over.
35 and over, you're thinking you're going crazy and you're going to a therapist first.
Yeah.
Want to get medicated. Is it possible people are getting medicated with like anxiety medication and it's being misdiagnosed that you're just going through premenopause?
Yeah.
So perimenopause. Is it pre?
Perimenopause.
Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Throughout this whole conversation, I'm going to mess it up and you're going to correct me.
That's totally fine.
Okay.
So yeah, so let's look at it. Menopause is that one day.
Yes.
Perimenopause is the years of transition years where you're still getting your period, but you could be exhibiting symptoms of perimenopause. And the way I've how I explain it to my own patients is estrogen is not just a reproductive hormone. It's not just a sex hormone. It's a hormone that is affecting our entire body, from our brain to our heart, to our skin, to our joints. Okay. So it's kind of like this is how I always kind of mention it to my patients. Like, you have an amazing assistant, right?
Yes.
And when your assistant goes on vacation, what happens?
Lord Jesus.
Right? Everything is thrown.
You try not to call.
Everything is thrown into chaos.
Yeah.
Right? So estrogen for our brain cells, for our neurons, is like it's a CEO of our brain. Okay, it's the best assistant that your brain has. So when your estrogen goes on vacation because of what we call the zone of chaos, where your hormones go down and up, it's not, your brain's not working anymore. So I always discuss it or describe it as the brain breaks first in perimenopause.
So is it possible that we just need to get more estrogen when we're going through these phases, or?
Yeah, I think I think first thing is we want to understand what is normal.
Yeah, what is normal?
And the normal is literally the zone of chaos.
Jeez.
It literally is. Like one day your estrogen can be, if you're 35 and over, if you're exhibiting symptoms of what I just shared, if we look at the hormonal status, the levels, right? Today you could be a low, and then what's today? Friday, right? Mm-hmm. On Monday you could be super high.
Okay.
And then on the next Wednesday it could be low again. Okay. So it's really like the up and down. And I usually kind of have a graph, which makes it easier to explain because visuals are what very powerful, right?
Yeah.
But suffice it to say that really, again, perimenopause is literally chaotic, both in our hormonal levels and how we feel. So going back to your question earlier, like, women 35 and over has stress and anxiety. I think it's, again, just like anything else, it's multifactorial, right? Like the stress we all have, the lives we lead, the hustle culture, the sandwich generation, right? Taking care of kids, taking care of older parents or loved ones, but then you layer in like perimenopause and the up and down of hormones, it just makes it so much harder. So yeah, now we know, there's actually research now. There's studies that show that for women struggling with depression and anxiety and in their perimenopause, a good treatment would be considering hormone therapy. Now, again, it's a very nuanced discussion, right? It can't be like everybody should be on hormone therapy. Yeah. I wouldn't say that, but I think if they're exhibiting other symptoms.
Here's what I found.
Look, they found something.
Serious, so annoying.
but and I can tell you, like, my own patients, right? I have patients that come to me that have some of them have never had anxiety in their whole life. And then when they hit their 30s, 40s, just anxiety out of nowhere. And anxiety, it's not necessarily panic attacks, but just like overwhelming uneasiness, kind of rumination, thinking about, like, having to think about several things. I've had patients that literally had the $1 million workout, like go to the cardiologist, go to the ER because of the anxiety. And some of them would have the panic attacks. Thankfully, all their cardiac testing were all normal, right?
Yeah.
And then once they start working with me, I mean, like, oh, they come back and like, yeah, my anxiety is controlled, my depression is controlled. It's so life-changing, basically.
So then the hormone therapy, like what does that consist of?
Yeah, so we would normally describe menopause hormone therapy as giving patients back estrogen and progesterone and testosterone. So all of these are hormones that our bodies naturally produce. So we would utilize, I prescribe FDA-approved bioidentical hormone therapies. Literally means biologically identical to what your body, our bodies used to produce before. So we're just giving it a little bit back. Not super high, just a little bit back to relieve the symptoms and make us really feel better.
So what are some potential like side effects from it? Do some people have adverse effects too?
Yeah, so again, nuanced discussion. Okay. We always want to discuss the patient's, we always want to look at the patient's medical history, their underlying medical issues, their underlying kind of concerns. But really the only there are, of course, any medication has side effects, right? The most common side effect the most common concern, I should say, is the risk of blood clots. But I always like to put it into numbers that my patients understand.
Okay.
So every woman has a baseline risk of blood clots, like 3 out of 10,000 women can have a blood clot. Did you know that birth control triples that? Being placed on birth control, the patient's risk goes up to 9 out of 10,000.
Really?
Oral pregnancy will bring it up to 20 out of 10,000. So those are, again, natural life states or prescriptions that will increase our baseline risk of blood clots.
So if you have a child, your baseline risk is higher?
During pregnancy.
During pregnancy?
Yes.
Okay.
And actually the risk is higher postpartum. The risk postpartum is 65 out of 10,000. So oral.
Why we have postpartum depression?
So postpartum depression is another transition, right? Where your hormones are kind of all.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely makes sense. Oral hormone therapy, the risk is 4 out of 10,000.
Okay.
Transdermal. So again, transdermal is a route of giving hormone therapy back. So that's to the skin. So the studies have shown that transdermal hormone therapy, the risk is the same as baseline.
Okay.
So again, nuanced discussion because there are different types of hormone. There are different routes of delivery. So, and a lot of people kind of confuse that. Well, they say like birth control is hormone therapy. So yes and no. Birth control has hormones in it, but it's not the same as bioidentical hormone therapy. And as I just shared with that kind of statistics, actually, with birth control, the risk is higher. But you don't see that advertised or talked about, you know?
Yeah. Hey, I'm hoping you're enjoying this episode of Coffee with E. I had to take 30 seconds to share with you one of our sponsors for this episode, Top Construction. They are a premier construction company located in Central PA. So if you live in Dauphin, Cumberland, Lancaster, and Lebanon counties, you want to check them out. Not only are they reliable, they are reasonable, and they get the job done. Now, let's go back to the episode. So I want to stop for a second because this is amazing. How in the world did you end up in this field? Like, what brought you to this?
Yeah, so what's interesting about my personal and professional pursuits, they actually really like merged. It all started really with what was happening to me. You know, I've been a physician for 20 plus years, and you know, I've taken care of women who were going through their own like life, and in the past, I did say, "Here's an antidepressant." You know, in the past, I did say, you know, hormones are scary, but it didn't. It wasn't until it started happening to me, my perimenopause journey, that I had to like figure out what was going on with me. So for me, my story, you know, I was at the peak of my physical health. I lost a bunch of weight. I lost like 50 pounds. I was exercising right. I was eating right. You know, I was eating healthy, but I wasn't sleeping.
Really?
Yes.
So you lost weight.
Oh yeah, that was.
So you were okay. I call that fortunate because I was the person that never had to work out. I did, but you naturally had the athletic body.
Yes.
Never really gained weight. Could eat whatever you want.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden.
Yeah. So a sentiment echoed by a lot of my patients. So my story is a little different because I've struggled with weight my entire life as a kid. So up and down, up and down. So I would lose weight when I was on point, would regain weight back, plus 10 pounds during my medical residency, during medical school, after each pregnancy. I would also lose weight again. So I had that yo-yo relationship with my weight for the longest time. But then there was a time when I, again, when I applied the modern science of weight, what I actually do right now with my own patients, when I started applying it to my own life, that's when I had that, sustained weight loss. But again, despite doing all the right things, I wasn't. So for me, my issue was not that I couldn't sleep. I could fall asleep, but I would wake up at 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. and couldn't go back to sleep.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And I dealt with that for years, for like, I don't know, and again, it's like, because of my inquisitive mind, I'm like, I gotta figure this out. So I did everything. I did alternative medicine. I did ashwagandha, L-theanine, lavender, melatonin. I did all of that. I mean, everything.
You're calling me out. Don't even know it.
I did. I got counseling because I thought I was just stressed and depressed because, why am I up at 2 a.m.? Must be anxiety. Again, I was on prescription medicine for anxiety, and I actually asked my doctor about it because I was like, I need to sleep. What's going on with me? It must be stress. And again, very understandable, right? I was at the height of my medical career. I had kids. I had life, and of course, it must be stress. Right?
Yeah.
How can you it's so hard to tell. And then I did counseling. I did what else? Oh, I got into coaching. So I'm a trauma-informed coach right now, but back then, that was when I first kind of figured out, okay, thoughts can help me change my life. So I got into coaching, became a student, and joined groups, hired a coach. And what else I do? I also got certified in cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, which is the #1 gold standard for treating insomnia. So I did all of those things, and they're all amazing things in itself. Right? But they were not really they didn't really help me consistently.
So it's like putting a little Band-Aid over it. Yeah. But it wasn't really solving or resolving long term.
For me. Right. For some patients, they may not, 1 or 2 or 3 of the many things I did. Oh, by the way, I didn't even mention all the shopping things I did to help with my sleep. I mean,
No, please share.
I mean, that eye thing. Like the whooshing sound, like the apps, like so many. Because again,
this is so good because I'm sure there's someone that is listening or watching this that is doing that exact same thing. Like seriously.
Yeah. I hear you because insomnia is real, right? And there's so many metabolic consequences of insufficient sleep.
Yeah.
So, and I love talking about it because again, it was my own struggle. But and TMI also at that time, I had an IUD. So I didn't know about periods. I never had a period. I didn't have a period for the longest time. So to me, it really, when I tried all those things and it didn't, so this was maybe over a span of like 4 years. Because what I was doing this while I was working, taking care of my kids, the whole life, right? This wasn't like I was doing it in a vacuum and I was just like figuring out myself. So anyway, so I heard about, I think it was kind of the start of a movement at this point, right? At least there were whispers of something called perimenopause. So I looked into it and I think, oh my God, this is freaking it. This is it. So I got certified by Menopause Society. I did a lot of online certifications with other physicians and other providers that really are passionate about women's health, talking about estrogen, progesterone, testosterone. And again, I applied what I've learned to my own life, and then I am sleeping amazing now.
That is a great
Among
story.
other things,
That is so what I'm hearing you say is we really have to figure out what our body needs. And it may be the therapy, right?
Yeah.
It may be all the coaching.
They're all amazing tools.
Right.
Absolutely.
But we can't lose sight of us as women. We're very complicated, right? We can thank Eve for that, I guess, right? So
that's also what makes us amazing.
That's what makes us amazing as well. I think it's important for us to take the time to figure out what is our body telling us that we need. And part of that I know my journey is going to be after meeting you is, hey, Dr. Troutman, can I get an appointment?
Yes.
I need to see what estrogen levels look like, or, what I'm missing. Because for someone like myself to start gaining weight, like the bigger breasts, you have the midsection,
the belly,
yeah, you're just exhausted,
fatigue,
forgetting things, just want to scratch people's eyes out when they're talking, and they're just saying so nice words to you. You're thinking, I could just scratch your eyes out right now. You don't even know that. That's weird.
Like, no, and that's the key. That's what I want to say to your listeners, is that this is biological.
Yeah, so we shouldn't be ashamed that we want to scratch somebody.
No, you shouldn't be ashamed. So again, because the focus for the longest time has been, your periods are regular, you must not be in menopause, you must not be in perimenopause. That is actually not true, right? So if we look at it from the lens of the symptoms that can happen before the period irregularity, we just recognize that, okay, this is normal, and I can get help. So that's one of the main things I really kind of do with my community outreaches, is like, let people know that they're not alone, they're not crazy. Literally biology. It's literally biology. You didn't do anything wrong. You don't need to have more willpower. You don't need to, do more like deep breathing, although deep breathing is awesome.
Meditation.
Those are, again, all of them are awesome tools, right? This is not, and I do all of them on a daily basis myself, but it's biology. Like, it's biology.
So start with biology.
Yeah, and science. This is science. This is not me pulling it out of a hat.
I think it's the not knowing.
Yes.
Because I didn't even know someone like you existed.
Oh.
Yeah. Right. So when we're looking up someone like Dr. Troutman, what are we looking for? Are we looking for a regular physician? Are we looking for a hormone therapist? We're looking like, how do we find you?
Yeah, I think you would want someone who's competent, right? Who knows what they're doing. So usually that would be someone who's gone through the Menopause Society, done the certification. We have menopause.org is the website that you can find someone close to you.
Okay.
If you're in the state of Pennsylvania, I would love to help you.
Yeah.
And I think you also want to have someone that's compassionate.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. I mean, they don't necessarily have to have yours.
A specialist in hormones. Or like, are you a general physician? Are you a specialist? Are you?
I'm all of the above.
Both?
So I'm actually I'm a quadruple board certified physician. So I'm board certified in family medicine, obesity medicine, culinary medicine, and Menopause Society.
That's great. In Central Pennsylvania.
And Pennsylvania. So I'm licensed in the state of Pennsylvania.
In the state of Pennsylvania.
So I have patients in Pittsburgh. I have patients, so as long as you're in the state of Pennsylvania, I can see them virtually or in person. And my office is in Camp Hill.
Yeah. Well, I have a feeling after us airing this episode, just based on just the things that I'm seeing on Facebook or social media that is in my community, that they are going to be calling you. Like, seriously.
Love to help. I mean,
they're going to be calling you. Yeah.
I think it's about time for women to know that what they're going through is normal, right? And that they're not alone, and that there's a solution for it.
There is a solution. So the signs for someone that's 35 or older right now is if they're moody.
So many symptoms, but yeah,
there's so many. So what are the tops? Can we talk top? Or
absolutely, we could talk. Yeah. So and what?
Such a physician, by the way. Just the way you're like, no, wait. Let's just make sure we clarify things. Yeah. These aren't specific. There's so many. So I don't want you thinking. Yeah. So I understand. Yes.
Well,
I
will use a study. Let me share a study. So when Menopause Society, Menopause Journal published a study 2024 on how women presented to their providers. These were women aged 35 to 55.
Okay, 35 to 55. Got it.
And they presented to their providers saying, I am, quote unquote, not feeling like myself.
Not feeling like myself.
Well, we call it NFLM in our circle. So that's an NFLM, not feeling like myself. So that's a very general term, right? But people don't come into their doctor's office saying, I'm in perimenopause. Maybe some who've done some advanced reading, but for the most part, women say, I don't feel like myself.
Yeah,
I'm a shadow of who I am.
Yeah.
I'm not I used to be more patient. Now I'm snapping at everybody. I used to be able to do, 5 tasks. Well, now I can barely finish 1 task. I used to be able to lose weight without doing anything. And now now I gain weight sitting and staring at the table. Like
Really?
so basically a change of who they are. And in that same study, what they tried to quantify what NF, not feeling like myself, meant. And there are 5 top symptoms. You ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. I'm going to start with the fifth. The fifth is difficulty concentrating.
Okay.
All right. So people would describe it as brain fog, or just, again, multiple tabs open in your brain and like unable to finish the task. And I always like to describe like the computer, right? You have like 5 tabs, or in my case, I have 20 times 2 because I have 2 screens.
Yes. Yes.
And you're not able to finish one task because you're like flip, right?
Wow. Okay.
So that's one. The fourth one is anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
So again, not anxiety attacks, although some patients do suffer from that. And by the way, anxiety can be someone who's never had anxiety before and now have it in their perimenopause, or someone who's been stable under meds. They've had long chronic anxiety and they've been stable under meds, and then all of a sudden it's not controlled. Same thing with with concentration, by the way. I have ADHD patients that suffer from ADHD that are labeled ADHD in perimenopause, which likely may not necessarily be that, but more perimenopausal changes.
Yeah.
Or patients have been stable under ADHD regimen for most of their years, and then come 35 and over, the meds are not controlling it, and they have to increase the dose, and so on and so forth. And I have so many patients that once they've worked with me and we've stabilized their hormone, like they've actually gone back down, So anyway, under
This
dose.
is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not done that though, because you said
I know there's 3 more. So
yes.
So 3 is it is low feelings.
Okay.
So again, not depression, right? Just like low feelings, no motivation to do what they used to do. Just blah, Second is overwhelm. The feeling of overwhelm, this difficulty with coping. I mean, when I read this study, I was like, yeah, check, check. And then number 1 symptom that was NFLM, or not feeling like myself, in this one study is fatigue.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So again, we're not saying of course, in that study, hot flashes were answered.
Right.
Irregular periods were also on the answers. But this just, again, highlights how it's not just about periods. Like, again, the brain is affected first. Right? So all of these are part of that.
Right. Okay.
So, I mean, you ask anybody 35 and over, they're all tired, right? And again, fatigue is so multifactorial. And we don't want to say it's all hormonal or it's all perimenopause, right? But what if it was? This is how I always phrase it. Like, what if it was?
Yeah.
What if giving you back a little bit of hormones that your body used to produce before can help you, which will help you move your body more, which would help you meal prep better, which would help you do amazing. I was about to say something. Do amazing things.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for someone that never experienced anxiety, what does that feel like? Because you say anxiety, I'm like, okay, so if you never had it, you're like, so what does that feel like? How do I know I'm experiencing anxiety?
Yeah. I mean, I could just share how my own patients have described it. So for them, it is about thinking about tomorrow. So here's how I describe it in general. Anxiety is when you're not living in the moment. You're looking at the future. What's happening tomorrow? How am I gonna talk to the people tomorrow? What if they don't like what I'm gonna say? And or living in the past.
Wow.
You're like, oh shit, did I say that right? I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
You're ruminating, right? Not again, there's a certain it's always a spectrum, I think, right?
Sure.
You have the anxiety attacks where you're literally paralyzed, cannot make a decision. I have patients that tell me I have palpitations, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's good to know, because from someone that doesn't know how to label anxiety, like me, myself, I'm talking about me now, it's good to hear that definition. Yeah, so what I heard you say, just so I can make sure I got it defined properly, not being present. You're either thinking about the future or the past.
And again, let's give that a little bit of refinement. Yes, thinking about it, but then in a negative way, like it's impacting you negatively. Do you know what I
Okay.
mean, right? I mean, so of course, we have to think about tomorrow, right? I
Sure.
have to like figure out
Yeah.
my
So
schedule.
negatively, yes, negative thoughts towards what you have to do tomorrow or what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
before.
fear or like shame, like shame about what you did in the past. And again, that's so, okay, the coach in me is coming out. So let me just,
Yeah.
like,
Right. The
like,
doctor coach is trying to define it. Yes.
so I think it's always how you're affected by it. If
Okay.
you're affected negatively, then, but racing thoughts, thinking about, I mean, I can tell you about myself too. Like, I just would like ruminate. I would think about what I said yesterday. Oh, I shouldn't have said that.
Okay.
And again, I'm not saying that there's no role for evaluating what we did in the past, or there's no role for thinking about tomorrow. Of course there is. But
Yeah.
if it's negatively affecting how you're performing today, I guess.
Right. So let's talk about sex with hormones. Yeah.
Talk about you and me. You sound crazy, dude.
I love this. I love it. So when it comes to menopause, perimenopause,
Yeah.
post-menopause,
They got it. I love it. I fly them up. You learn.
I'm learning. Yes. So how does that affect the woman's desire or need or
Yeah.
sex?
Yeah. Love you that you're talking about this, because this is not discussed at all in the doctor's offices. Right?
Okay.
But sexual health, first of all, is part of our health. It's part of women's health, right? So we need to, and very frequently it's not discussed. It's discussed with tinged with shame or guilt, right? So what happens in menopause? So again, menopause means perimenopause means fluctuating levels of estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, but also in menopause, estrogen is out the door, I like to call it.
Done.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that affects our body, including libido in our brain, because libido is actually a brain thing. It's not a vagina thing or a vulva thing, right?
Libido
Am I
is a
supposed to
brain
say that out
thing?
loud? So,
Would you please? We're educating the community.
okay, I'm just saying, like the V word, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, libido is in our brain. Libido is in our brain. Desire is in our
the
brain.
vagina.
So, yeah, first of all,
I'm
yeah.
learning something, y'all. Am I blushing? Because I'm learning something. I never knew that. I never knew that.
Desire, think about
Wait,
it. Desire.
Hold on.
How
I
do you
need to know-
desire
Did
something?
y'all know that? Did you know it was a brain thing and not a vagina thing? Because I didn't know.
Yeah.
I can't be the only one that knew.
No, you're not the only one.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't know it either. I mean, can I just be honest? Like, I tell you, like, a lot. It's so fascinating when a topic that's not discussed. I mean, I grew up Catholic, number one, so sex was never something you talk about.
Right.
You know, I'm a doctor for 20-something years, and sex was never. I mean, it's so
That's
sex
hilarious.
from a lens of pleasure in midlife,
Right.
right? Normally, it's sex like don't get STD. That's what we usually would talk about.
Right.
Not
Protect
about
yourself.
yeah, which is again a good topic to discuss. right?
Sure.
But,
We're talking hormones now.
yeah.
Yes.
Let's go back to that.
Yeah.
So what was I saying?
Help us, Dr. Troutman.
But the one thing that is a hallmark of menopause is something called genitourinary syndrome of menopause. Have you ever heard of the term?
Have I ever heard it?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Never.
Yeah. So it's
Teach me, Dr. Troutman.
So we
Teach me.
kind of in medicine we like to like give acronyms or just make shorter
So
things.
wait,
right?
say it again though. What is
So GSM,
GSM?
genital
Genital
urinary
urinary
syndrome.
syndrome. Oh, genital
Genital
urinary
urinary
syndrome. Got it.
Yeah. So that just talks about this different symptoms that are attributed to the loss of estrogen that affect the genital area and then the urinary system.
Okay.
So it presents in patients as urinary frequency, going to the bathroom frequently. So a lot of people get diagnosed with a UTI when they don't actually have a UTI.
Really?
How will you know you don't have a UTI? You go to a doctor, you'll get a urinalysis, and they tell you like your urine is normal, but you have symptoms, right? You have symptoms of urinary urgency. Urgency means you have to go
right
away. Frequency is you go to the bathroom, every often.
Yeah.
Those are symptoms of GSM, which can be treated with hormone therapy.
Really?
Yeah. And I want to just kind of talk about that a little bit. So
Please.
one of the most common issues in menopause is UTI, which if left untreated, if it was a true UTI, right? If left, because menopause changes our vaginal microbiome, like the bacteria that lives on the vagina and vulva, and then that does increase the risk of UTIs. And UTIs can lead to urosepsis. So you're admitted in the hospital, given IV antibiotics, and that can lead to being admitted in like the hospital, and then so many things out. So many things kind of downstream from there.
So if untreated, it could be something that's not.
But what if we can
cause you
prevent that from even happening?
Yeah.
Right. And there's a role for that with both vaginal estrogen and systemic estrogen. So that's the urinary symptom there. But genito of the GSM. So that is the vaginal canal. So a lot of women come to me and say, I haven't had sex in 5 years because it hurts. Really? It's like sandpaper to have sex with my partner. So my partner and I have not been intimate because it hurts.
Oh, man.
And of course, again, that affects a marriage, right? That affects intimacy. That affects how deep that relationship can be, I think. And one of the amazing things I can do for my patients is to give that back to them.
Had to take 2 seconds to thank Allstate Insurance for sponsoring this episode. If you're looking for car, life, or casualty insurance, they're going to be your ultimate insurance company. Thank you, Rob Shaw with Allstate Insurance. Now, back to the show. So through hormone therapy, you can, I guess, reverse it, if you will? Is that
yeah.
Right?
So what estrogen does is, again, thinking of it from a cellular level or from an organ level, estrogen will increase blood flow to the lining of the vagina vulva. Estrogen will improve collagen formation. So what used to be, we call it atrophic, like dry as the Sahara, as my patients have mentioned, is now not dry.
Sahara is hilarious.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, I have a quote. I have not a quote. I have a story for that. Can I share a story?
Sure.
So in my practice, I always talk to my patients about what are their top 3 symptoms, because that's why I personalize hormone therapy. Okay. So we decide on hormone therapy based on their goals, based on their top 3 issues. So one of my patients, one of her symptoms was painful sex because of what we call vaginal atrophy, or the lack of estrogen in the vaginal canal. So one of her, of course, goals was to initiate intimate connections with her partner, right? So we started, we did treatment, and then one day I got a text. So my patients can text me and email me, so I got a text from her, and it was fireworks. Like, what is this? I'm like, all right, I'll just ignore it. And then the next time we met for her appointment, I said, did you text me this fireworks? Yes. Because I didn't know how to tell you, but that was like number 3 was Matt. So that I love sharing that story because he's just like,
that is so great.
Fireworks.
That is so great.
Yeah. So again, it's hormone therapy is just life-changing.
I mean, it sounds like it. It does. It sounds like it. I need to meet with you. Yeah.
Yes.
I definitely need to meet with you, because just the fact that, one, this conversation alone, I learned so much. And then the fact that there may be hope for, we didn't touch on it though. So how does the hormone therapy help with the weight gain? Yeah. For the women that used to look a certain way and now their body composition is changing,
Yeah.
How does that work?
Yeah. So I think the first thing I'd say is weight gain is multifactorial.
Okay.
Right. And I always say this all the time, like the old science is calorie in, calorie out. Now we know it's not calorie in, calorie out.
Oh, it is not.
It is not.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, it's not.
So what is it?
It's definitely more than that. So the way I kind of describe it to my patients, it's energy in and energy out. So it sounds the same, but it's actually not, right?
So by working out? Is that what you mean?
No. So for example, there are hormones that actually affect energy in and energy out. So one of the things that affect women is in midlife is insulin resistance.
Oh, okay.
And cortisol dysregulation. So when we lose estrogen, we become more insulin resistant, and we have increased cortisol dysregulation. So it's not that we have high cortisol, or I should say, it's not like cortisol blood levels go high. It's more like our reaction to stress, our resilience. That we lose a little bit of that when we lose estrogen. So so these are hormones that affect how much and how energy is stored. And usually when we lose that, again, insulin resistance specifically, we store it more in the belly.
So insulin is that equivalent to like sugar? Like
insulin is the hormone. Insulin resistance is the phenomenon that happens where our body tends to store fat more in the belly versus just utilizing energy.
So when patients take the hormones that you share with them, do they see themselves going back to their normal weight?
So I always want to say, but like weight loss is nuanced and complicated, right? So it's not just. So I never say. So what I want.
Okay, you're a miracle worker. I'm coming tomorrow.
What I always say is like hormone therapy is not a weight loss medicine.
Okay.
It's not. So I say that from the get-go.
That's fair. Okay.
Yeah, because again, it is nuanced, right? So for example, but hormone therapy can help you if you're not sleeping well. Let's just say if you're not sleeping well, and we can help you sleep now. And when you sleep better, your cortisol improves.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
And then when you sleep better, you're not going to be as tired in the morning. So you're more likely going to do the things that so with weight, we know we need to move our body. We need to eat, our protein, our fiber, our water. We kind of know a little bit of the rules.
Yeah.
The struggle is applying the rules into our real life.
Right.
And how can and here's how I always tell my patients that work with me for both their hormone and weight is that I want to start with hormone. I start with hormone therapy to make you feel better.
Okay.
Because how can I ask you to do XYZ when you're literally tired?
That's so
and
good.
Overwhelmed?
Yeah.
Like adding like another to-do list on your to-do list is going to be a to-do list.
It
right?
drains you.
100%.
To think about it. Yeah.
So we really want to just start by, in a way, like, again, healing, stabilizing the hormone so you feel better. Because when you feel better, it's so much easier to do the lifestyle changes that we encourage. So in my practice, I talk about the 4M pillars, so 4M playbook: meals, movement, mind, and meds. So all of them combined, is how, again, women feel the best. So yeah. So I think I slightly unanswered your question. Did I?
No, you did.
Okay.
So basically, you're saying, hey, look, you can get these hormones. However, you're still going to have to put in the work to get back into the shape that you desire, is what I heard you say. It's not a miracle pill.
Yeah, and there's a strategy for that, right? Looking at how you're eating, looking at how you're moving, which is the old calorie in, calorie out model, right? But it's also looking at how you're handling stress, because that affects the cortisol. Looking at how you're sleeping, because that affects cortisol and insulin.
Yeah.
And then for those that... for someone like me, for example, who struggle with weight their entire life, right? Then medications might help them treat the dysregulation that happens. So again, menopause is like a metabolic switch, I call it. Like we're more insulin because we lose estrogen. These are the downstream effects.
You're right. So what causes the hot flashes? Like, why do people like start dripping sweat and then they're like freezing cold?
Yeah.
What is that from?
Yeah. So again, it's in the brain. So our brain is so magnificent. Okay, first of all. So in their brain, there's what we call a thermoregulatory center.
Okay.
So it gets input from our skin that tells us how the temperature is. So skin sends a message to the thermoregulatory center and say, it doesn't say it this way. It's like 65 degrees.
Yes.
It doesn't say that. So I was like, oh, it's cold, so let me go and shiver, or let me go or if it's like 100 degrees, let me go and sweat.
Yes.
So it gives a signal to the brain.
Okay.
And the brain gets the message and tells the body what to do. Tells the body to sweat, tells the body to have a, shiver, etc. So what happens in menopause is, what did I say earlier? The brain breaks first.
Yeah.
Right. So the regulation center is also affected.
Okay. So my brain is broke. Is that what you're saying? I have a broken brain.
Well, here's the thing. Menopause breaks our brain.
Out of nowhere, just be sweating.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck? Yeah.
And you know what's interesting, not really interesting, but what a lot of people don't realize is hot flashes is more than just an annoyance. It really is something that impacts our health,
Really?
Oh yeah, yeah. It impacts your sleep. So it's sleep, cardiovascular impact, so much. So it's not just people, and I say this because a lot of my patients, if were coming to me, were told just deal with the symptoms.
Just deal with it, because you know what? That's what your parents did. That's what your grandparents did. That's what their parents did. So you just deal with it. It's just part of being a woman, honey.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
And it's like, but it's not. It's not you. Again, we can deal with it, or we can advocate for treatment that will improve the symptoms. So it is a natural transition, right? Every 100% of women will go through perimenopause and menopause, but it doesn't have to be in suffering. You don't have to suffer.
It does not have to be in suffering.
No.
Dirty Dog Calling, thank you so much for your sponsorship. If you're looking for a junk removal company, they are the go-to company. Whether you have a small job or a large job, and even excavation, you want to check them out. They are reasonable and also timely and effective. Dirty Dog Calling. Now back to the show.
There's no medal. There's no medal that says, when you're like 65, I didn't take hormone therapy, so I deserve a medal. Like, no, there's no medal.
So there's no shame in doing the research and figuring it out.
And that's why I always start with science. I always start like, this is normal.
Mm-hmm.
This is what happens. And numerous women, hundreds, thousands of women say that same thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're not alone. This is normal. And you don't have to suffer.
Yeah. So is this natural medicine, or is this like, I don't know, unnatural?
Are you talking about hormone therapy?
Yeah, the hormone therapy.
Yeah, so hormone therapy, again, there's different types, right? There's different routes, there's different types. As a Menopause Society specialist, I prescribe any and all of them.
Okay.
But my first choice is usually what we call bioidentical hormone therapy. So bioidentical is made in the lab, right?
Yes.
But it is biologically identical to what our body produced before.
Okay.
So it's literally giving you back what we used to have.
Okay. Now, is this something that's paid for through our benefits?
Yeah, so
medical
did you know
benefits?
estradiol? So the bioidentical estrogen is estradiol. It's been around for 48 years.
Okay.
It's generic.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say what I've seen is maybe 95. Every insurance is different, right? And we can go through that whole discussion how insurance are so confusing. But I would say 95% of the time it's covered, unless it's a weird insurance. And if it's not covered, it's generic. Like it's not $1,000 is what I'm trying to say, right? My patients pay anywhere from $5 to like $30.
Okay. So that's the other thing. A lot of people don't seek it out because they think, oh my gosh, it's so expensive.
Right. Yeah, it's not. It's
it's cost effective.
It's older than estrogen itself. The older version has been there. Oh my God, like 70. It's been around for a while. But the bioidentical, the estradiol, is like 48 years.
Wow.
I mean, it's been around for a while. Same thing. Progesterone has been around for a while. Testosterone has been around for. These are like generic tools that are available to us. Again, it is different routes, different forms, different options, and it's finding the one that works for a person.
Yeah. Well, this was a great lesson. Yeah, I feel lighter just listening to the conversation. Like seriously, I walked away like, okay, one, there's something out there that can help me personally, and we probably help so many other people that are going to be watching this. So how can someone get in contact with Dr. Troutman?
Yes. So definitely a lot of ways. If you just kind of want to listen to like science, I have a YouTube channel. I have also follow me on Facebook. I drop.
What's the name of your channel?
Midlife Remedy.
Midlife Remedy. Oh, definitely gonna be tagging you.
Yeah. So I give like educational insights. I talk about the symptoms.
Yeah.
And then I also see patients. I'm licensed in the state of Pennsylvania, so I have a brick and mortar in Camp Hill. But again, can see anybody virtually in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So then, do you have a referral system for someone that's not local in Pennsylvania but looking for a good resource?
Absolutely. So for being my patient, I have everything online. Patients do an initial consult with me, and they could at least meet me once to go over their story, and then they can decide to work with me. And then I have the free resources on my website, midliferemedy.com, on just like maybe what is perimenopause and how, yeah, and then weight as well.
So the person that's in California that's looking for Dr. Troutman, do you have a referral system?
No. So I usually would, if they're outside the state of Pennsylvania, there's something called menopause.org. So that is menopause specialists that have been certified.
Okay.
From their MDs, their PAs, MPs, and stuff like that. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. But no one's like me.
This is so good. I keep saying it because it was really good.
I'm so glad.
Educated.
I'm so glad.
I was educated.
That's the purpose of our chat today, right?
Yeah.
Again, it's if I can. So to me, this is how my mission in life is. It's like just let people know that this is normal. What I just kept saying, and then there's hope.
There is hope.
And then
it's normal and it's hope, and you do not have to suffer, and you do not get a Medal of Honor by going through it naturally.
And you know what I always like kind of reflect upon in my own journey was like I had like 4 or 5 years of insufficient sleep, right? And then what is the cost of that? What is how much? Not just monetary, but like life, right? I could have been a better parent. I could have been a better wife. Whatever, right? So if I could just give that, if I could shorten someone's struggle, yeah, to not the 8 years, 4 years, but hey, let me guide you. That's just
So all I can say is I'm very grateful that I had the opportunity to. I should say I got the opportunity to run into you.
Right.
At the Women's Mastermind.
Yes.
Was that 2 years ago?
Yes.
And we literally just had a casual conversation like, what is this about?
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that. And I was like, oh, and she's like, and you said, it looks like it might be a room full of just realtors here. I was like, no, because you're here. And what do you do? So, yeah. And it's like a full circle moment because we're going to have one in January.
Yes.
And I know that, so Brittany Giles, she's the CEO of Keller Williams. Okay. So she's actually having it in January. And I'm excited because the feedback that we received from it the last time, I have a funny feeling that's probably going to be heavy on the non-realtor side.
Good.
Which is actually going to be really good.
Yeah. Yes.
So we get to meet more people like you because you were, just to meet you, I was just like, ooh, I have a feeling I'll meet her again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I walked away and I said that.
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
God works in mysterious ways.
He does. He does. And I didn't even know that you were like a hormone doctor.
Yeah.
I'll call you
you certainly can. I mean, I think, and even the weight stuff, that's actually also hormonal.
Yeah.
I was like, tell people, even the weight is.
Yeah. So good. So good. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
I really appreciate it. Yeah. So if you're looking to get in contact with her, we're going to make sure that we have all of this information in our description because I believe that your life could actually change by just having a conversation and getting an analysis of what's going on with your body. And who knows, you're going to have a better life for it. I'm glad we covered sex too, because I know that a lot of people, that's something that people don't want to talk about.
Yeah, they don't talk about it at all in their doctors or even in their OBGYN appointment. I never talk about it with my own doctor. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they don't ask me, like, how's sex going? Like, so that's another one of my kind of passions is sexual health because so first, okay, fun fact, 1 second, not fun fact, but are you aware of there's something called spontaneous desire and responsive desire?
No.
So a lot of my patients would tell me like, I have low libido.
Yeah. So
I ask them like, what do you mean by that? I just like really sit in that curiosity and have them explain to me and not have any prejudgment on what that means. One. So, and usually they say is before I used to want to have more sex. Now I don't want to have sex. Now my husband touches me and I'm like, oh my God, get away from me.
Yeah.
That's kind of nice story.
That's stuff that should have been in there, girl.
Okay, let's keep rolling. Just kidding.
No.
But that could be
that's really good.
So for example, so the first thing I always say is like, did you know that that's normal? So there are actually two kinds of desire.
Yeah.
So there's the spontaneous desire and response. So spontaneous desire, I describe it as Hollywood. like in the movies.
Yeah.
You see someone across the room.
Yes.
You lock eyes.
Yes.
And then you go to a room and then you take off your clothes and then you have sex and you come at the same time and then like you fall back and then it's sheen of sweat. Like that's Hollywood, right? That's spontaneous desire.
Yes.
Responsive desire is actually something that is like, this is how I describe it. Like, hey, Erica, let's go to a party on Wednesday. And you said, I don't really want to go, but sure case, I'll go to the party with you.
Yeah.
So it's Monday, like Wednesday's coming soon. And you're like, I really don't want to go because I have to shave and I have to get a dress.
Yes.
And like, I really don't want to go, but you decide to go anyway because you said you were going to go with me. So you go to the party and like, ooh, I like the music in this party. Oh, I like the food in this party.
Yeah.
So after the party, and you have fun. I like the people in this party. So at the party, you have fun. And at the end of the day, you said like, I should go to more parties. So that's responsive desire. Basically, you have desire in response to something.
Okay.
So it's not spontaneous,
Right.
So what people may not realize is a person, I don't want to just say. So a long-term relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, majority of the people are in their responsive desire. You could have spontaneous desire in the beginning,
Right.
because really, desire / sex, a lot of it is like excitement, right? If you're in a long-term relationship, that's usually like safety and like, accountability, like, so less of the mystery, right? So a lot of people are in that responsive desire, and that's very normal. Very normal. So when patients tell me that I used to want to have more sex and now I don't, I'm like, so what I say that that's normal.
Yeah.
And this doesn't mean that you have low libido. This means we need to understand what are you in responsive desire, and is partner aware that you are in responsive desire, which means that partner and you need to start talking about
I
it.
was going to say having conversations, having open communication.
Yes, and then just telling partner, I kind of like it when what makes you desire. Whether it's, this is my favorite, husband taking care of the dishwasher, so I don't have to deal with that shit.
Yeah.
Husband taking care of the plans so that I don't have to like have the mental load of doing XYZ. That's definitely gonna get me in the mood. I mean, right? So like partners have to have that discussion that it's normal,
Right.
and then what is your again, I talk about the chores, but it's not just that. It's about like, it could be like, what's your favorite, I don't know, like sexiest thing to do, right? So just even talking about it, I can tell you right now, I've helped a lot of my patients just explaining that this is normal. Again, it's about normalization.
Because you're wondering why. I say, how can the man get so excited and they just walked in the door and you're like, whoa, give me a second. I need to be built up to this. You can't just.
Yes. Yeah. So actually what happens in the bedroom actually starts in the morning, right? So if you kind of really like,
good.
So
It starts in the morning. Yeah, this is a great behind the scenes clip.
There you go. Yes. All right.